What up? What up? What up? It is week 2 of Square One, and the boys are
Yes,
back in
sir.
the house. -1. I ain't calling nobody name. I ain't saying what he got to do, but I can say that last week and the week before he like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for this, ready for that. Yada 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 yada, da, 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 and here we are.
First
Second
week,
week.
I give him his props. He was here. His electricity went out. We had a storm, so I get it. But this week, man, he knew from Wednesday we were doing Square One. I'm just saying, you know.
hmm I guess golfing is more important than hanging out with your boys. So okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, for real though.
Yeah.
We need
What's
to
up
get.
there? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we need to get Shifty to fix that intro to add JG in there, and
I done
we
asked
all
him.
should.
He said there's something about this new WWE that won't allow him to do it, but as soon as it will, he will get us one ready and made up.
Just as long as we're all beating up on JG, we're good.
Oh, I love it.
Mr. JG Shaolin, what's going on with you, sir?
Man, salute everybody, man. I'm doing great. Great. It's a rainy day, but it's a good day. I'm alive. I'm well. Enjoying myself.
Hey, you can't argue at that point, bro. Mr. Knight, what's going over there in your neck of the
Oh,
woods?
everything looking all right. We'll see how the game this week goes. It's going to be tough, but other than that, Royals are actually almost in the playoffs. It'll be crazy. I know you guys don't watch baseball, but a lot of
Nope.
good sports stuff going on around here. That's it.
They really try to get in baseball. I'm telling you, I couldn't name one baseball player now if my life depended on it.
I couldn't either.
An active baseball player. And maybe somebody should watch more, but it just puts me to sleep. It's like instant sleeping pill.
It's better with the new rules and stuff, but it can still be a grind.
Yeah. Anzo, what's going on with you, bro?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. Can't complain. Just here, ready to do the Square One show. Talk about some football. Let's do it.
Yeah. I think we got some good topics. And I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way because it's been all week. I'm sick and tired of it. But here it is. Did Shannon set all this up? Did Shannon Sharp purposely turn on his IG account when he was, what's they saying, knocking boots, bumping uglies, whatever you want to name you want to call it? But I heard it. It was kind of entertaining when I heard it. I'm like, whoa. And of course, his boys they did a roast. Chad Ocho was giving him the business.
Mhm.
Lamar Crawford come on there and man, he is funny. You know watch that one, Lavelle Crawford, and then Cam Newton came on there along with Snoop Dogg, man, and they were doing what anybody would do to their boy, man. Who is Michelle? This kind of question that and the other. But before we get into it, I want to play a clip of Cam Newton and Snoop Dogg. They acting like they're the attorney defense attorney going against Shannon Sharp and ask some specific questions. I think it's quite
Mhm.
funny. But we'll go ahead and get into this. Play a small snippet of it.
Poor Michelle. Okay, moving along. And I think one of the main things is we really want to know who Michelle is. And I call this segment, Will the Real Michelle Please Stand Up?
I didn't see
Because
this.
moaning, groaning, and even extreme cases, we've seen a person grunting. So can you confirm or accept the fact to tell the court what this situation was at hand?
All those sides.
Your future is at your fingertips. Take advantage of the
All you knew
flexibility.
it was coming.
Were exhibited.
Poor Michelle. Okay, moving right along. And I think one of the main things is we really want to know who Michelle is. And I call this segment, Will the Real Michelle Please Stand Up? Because I think that's something that a lot of us want to know respectfully. And I started to do my own investigation. I started to do my own digging. And I started to think to myself, I'm like, who and what Michelle could it be? First off, I was like, hold up, could it be Michelle Rodriguez? You may ask yourself, who's Michelle Rodriguez?
No, not the Fast and the Furious. Absolutely
The Fast
not.
and the Furious. I don't know how fast it was, but from the sounds of things, it was definitely furious.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, damn, no, it wasn't that, because that's not your steez. You know, knowing that I know how you get down. You like them sisters, or you like them oatmeal, thick, cold oatmeal. You know what I'm saying? Situations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on. Another Michelle is Michelle Obama. I was like, no, not Michelle Obama. But she did have a campaign for America that let's move. I was like, nah, it was a lot of moving going on.
I don't do married women.
No.
No, hell no.
That can't be Michelle Obama. Shout out to my dog Barack. Then my third option was Michelle Williams. I was like, hold on.
From Destiny Child, from Michelle Williams?
Michelle, because she obviously was a survivor. She not gonna give up. She not gonna stop. She gonna go harder.
No.
And I was like, hold on, no, it's not her either. That ain't Unk style either, because I do think she's in a situation. So I'm like, last but not least, I was like, it's K Michelle. It gotta be K Michelle. And the reason why I said I did my own homework, I went to iTunes, and I looked at just the list of songs that K Michelle had on her albums or songs that she's been a part of. And one of those songs, and multiple songs, was Hard to Do. I said, Then another song was Cry. And then another song, I was like, damn, this shit been going on for years. How do you know? This was the song that she titled, How Do You Know? I was like, oh no. But then she had a song with Rick Ross that was Maybe I Should. No, it wasn't Maybe I Should Call. It was If They Know. I was like,
I see.
Is it K Michelle? So I'm just trying to figure out the pieces, because like I said, I'm speaking for the people. We really want to know who Michelle is. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes. Michelle would like to remain anonymous.
Okay.
I swore that her anonymity would be protected.
Yes, sir.
That's something that I'm going to take to my grave.
Yes, sir.
And,
I know.
And even then, hey, Snoop Deal Double G nephew, I know you could appreciate this. Some things you take to your grave.
Yes,
and
sir.
Even when you go meet the man at the pearly gates and he asks you about it, you say at this present time, I don't remember.
You just pray for
I just ask for forgiveness.
Forgiveness. You repent.
Yes.
I like that.
Snoop, what you thinking, Snoop?
I think you should have had some music in the foreground, huh? If you'd had some music, it would have covered up half of the massacre. You know what I'm saying? The music in the foreground, the massacre in the background.
What kind of music we talking about now? We can't just have anything.
He could have had some.
Thank you, Wilson.
He could have had some R&B music going. You know what I'm saying? Some real, sensual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some real sexual. You know what I'm saying? To set the tone where the music would have been the object of desire, and the ambiance would have been the noise that was in the background. He should have reversed the sound. But I think, but what I think though, like what Rick Ross said, I think he was trying to film. You know what I'm saying? And hit that wrong button. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know you ain't up on that technology like the
But if you
bro, they go on. Oh, it's funny, man. But the one on Lavelle Crawford is funny. But what do y'all think? Now, before I get into asking questions, Shannon said that he don't know now, but he could possibly lose between $1 and $200 million in sponsors and advertisement because they don't know whether or not they want to jump on board there, so they don't know whether or not they want that image projected of their product. So he said, I'm not losing that kind of money to try to prove to people that I'm not gay. He said, it just ain't it. He said, I don't care. He said, people are going to believe what they're going to believe anyhow. Whether they think I'm straight, gay, whatever. This is not a publicity stunt because I could possibly lose some money. So my initial question, do you think it's a publicity stunt or something went wrong? Or did she do it? Or what do y'all think it is?
So first off, let me say, I like Cam Newton, man. I watch his show all the time. I think he's very entertaining. I like his style, and obviously he got jokes. But to answer your question, yeah, I still think it was set up 100%. It's way too hard. You got to do so many steps to go live on IG. It's just, you know what I mean? It's not like you just click on IG, go live, and then boom. No, IG live, you got to put a title, you got to do this, you got to do that. So, yeah, for me, I think it's set up. And his show is doing very well, so losing one or two sponsors is not going to hurt him.
Okay. JG, what you think?
To quote Daniel Day-Lewis said, was it Scarlet Letter? It is my name, right? And a lot of people, their name means more than money. And it's kind of ironic that this comes out right when there's more heat on him possibly being gay. Right? And then all of a sudden this video comes out. I don't think he's gay. I think he's bisexual, honestly. But it's just too much of a coincidence. Like Nzo said, it's too many steps just to go live like that. And the angle it was like it's making sure you don't see me, but you're going to hear my voice. And it was funny because you know how country Unc is, how Shannon is. So him talking, I'm just laughing the whole time. But, you know, it's like I said, 1 or 2 sponsors. I mean, he lose $100 million, he'll get another $100 million back. Let alone, you know, his whole NFL career, money's made from NFL he was on, money he's making now. 1 or 200 million, that's probably pocket change for him. He'll get it back in no time. It's nothing.
Okay. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm with them. I mean, I think it happened. He did it. I don't give a crap about his orientation. I kind of go with JG. If it's true, I think it's more bi than anything. But you know, I don't know. People who are famous, people who've been in sports and stuff, they've got a different world they live in. Things go on. I don't want to know. Doesn't matter to me. The sponsorship, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt him, but I do agree with the name thing. Somebody's name, especially like Shannon Sharp, his name has been, you know, a real thing for years. So I think his name means something to him. So I don't know. Maybe this is bothering him more than you know, people realize. But again, I think that I'm not sure exactly the full intention of why, but I think it has a lot. I think he has a lot behind it. So,
if Chris would have said he thought it was real, I would have been like, "But you think the Chris Rock slap is fake?" So good job for at least being consistent, Chris. And then I'll agree with you one time before Danny goes. Like, who cares what his sexual orientation is? Who cares what he does behind closed doors? You know what I mean?
exactly.
People need to stop worrying about what people do behind their closed doors and just enjoy the content that he'd be putting out there. Because Shaolin Sharp be killing it with everything he does.
I don't know if this was. I can see your points, but having said that, yeah, when you're popular and you as widely known as he is, $100 million at the end of the day is $100 million. $200 million at the end of the day is $200 million. Now I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize that money because the saying, a bird in the hand beats 2 in the bush. If I already got it locked in for $200 million, I go out there and do something stupid. Let me give you a prime example. John Morant. He was going to be the next face of the NBA. He already had a shoe deal. Not many basketball players in the NBA get their own signature shoe. I think he had Powerade or Gatorade, one of those things. He was on the way up, but he did 2 or 3 stupid things, and now all that money's gone. So I don't know. Could it be a publicity stunt? I see your point, but I don't know, man. I'm not taking that gamble or assuming that just because I'm gonna lose this $1 or $2 million sponsor, there's 4 or 5 right around the corner. I don't know if I do that. Now I agree with Nzo. There are several steps. I'm not on IG, so I don't know what the steps are. But when I'm going live on YouTube, there are several things that ask you this, ask you that, and before it goes in, so you're going live, you got to hit yes. And whether he already had that preset, or maybe was going off on IG and thought he was off, I don't know. If he's not tech savvy, he might have thought he was off and wasn't. Might have paused it or something. I don't know because now here on right here on StreamYard, they got a pause set now. There was plenty of times I think I'm recording, doing my shows, and I'm paused. I'm like, whoa. So I mean, I don't know, but all I'm saying, $200 million, that's a lot to gamble on for publicity stuff. So I don't know.
You know what? I agree with you 100%. That's a lot of money. But, you know, the fact that he's so popular and if his show keeps going, he'll probably end up doubling that in a year or two. You know what I mean? Plus, and I hate to say it, but plus sometimes, you know, when you get into that Hollywood stuff, they make you do certain things just to say that they have something on you. You know what I mean? So there it is right there. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I just think there was way too many steps for him to be like, oh yeah, because he says he says he doesn't even stream on IG, right? He doesn't use it. So if that's the case, how did it pop up? Now maybe the girl
I
set
think
it up.
he said one of his producers something. I watched quite a few things. And he was saying one of his producers or somebody has access to his phone. So, and then when they saw it, they cut it off. He didn't actually cut it off, but there were a lot of
Well,
people
no,
texting
he
him.
said access to his Instagram account,
His
right?
Instagram, yeah.
But
So,
but you see, here's the thing though. Even if he did, he could cut it off, but he could never start it on Shannon's phone. You know what I mean?
Y'all know out of the four of us, I'm the least tech savvy, so I don't know.
Your live is. I mean, somebody could. It's like me changing the thumbnail last night on Chaos Central. Anza started the stream. I couldn't stop it because I don't have access to that stream that he set up. But I can change some stuff as it's going on.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I can't stop it.
But there was one time like Anzo, when we were doing winter rankings, he gave me control. He had it at first. Yeah, there was some kind of way he hooked it up, and then I could do the same thing he could do.
Yeah. There's
so there's tech savvy
members.
They know what.
Yeah. I don't think Instagram's like that, but still, I think that whether or not this was designed to happen, or they were doing this on purpose, or there was some, I don't know. I still see this as a more of a publicity stunt. I understand what you're saying there, Danny, about, man, I don't know why you would do that. I don't know. Again, whatever he gets hurt, however he gets hurt, somebody takes their thing. I mean, really, they might lose.
Let me give
and
you
he
scenario.
might just be saying he's going to lose sponsorships. He might not lose any.
Yeah. I'll give you a scenario where it makes sense in my mind. He just got let go from Undisputed. Stephen A didn't extend that olive branch. He's betting on Club Shay Shay. He needs something to kickstart it. He hadn't had the Cat Williams yet. Then he might do this to try and kickstart it. But he already had the Cat Williams. He didn't have. That's the highest grossing YouTube video of all time. He's killing it with these videos. Not Cap. They got from 0 to 1 million subscribers in like record time. This cat is making money. He don't need to get any harder than he is now. So why would he risk something that he already had? I already got subscribers, already got sponsors, already got people backing me, and I know I'm gonna get $200 million at the end of this year. Why am I gonna do something stupid? And I'm already hot. I ain't getting no colder. I'm smoldering hot now.
Why?
What would be the upside of that?
There have been plenty of times in sports, Hollywood, whatever you want to say, the live broadcast world, that we've looked at things and gone like, why the heck did they do that? I mean, what you were just talking about, in the NBA, the guy that, showing around a gun on a video. It's like, who knows why? And it's not like there's a good reason why, maybe, but that doesn't stop some people from doing this stuff. Now, yeah, it does surprise me. It's Shannon Sharp, that's how it happened. But maybe there's something behind it. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this: as heterosexual men, typically there are two things we don't want to be called. One is the B word. The other one is gay. Right? And when you call that so many times, because remember what happened with Skip Bayless, there was a lot of things about him like, hey, I would have wrung his neck. I would have done this. How do you take this from this guy? Right? So people were calling him basically the B word in so many words. Right? But like your point on, Daddy, I'm not going to lose my check over that guy like that. I get it. But then you
we
saw
know
what happened
you
at the
ain't
Grizzly
losing no
Lakers
money
game.
over this.
Yeah, at the Lakers Grizzlies game, right? We saw he acted, trying to fight the team.
Yeah.
He could have lost sponsorships then.
I don't understand,
Right?
George. I do not stand. Well, I do, because he's young, inexperienced, immature, never had that kind of money. But Shannon can't say that.
Exactly.
If Shannon was 20-something years old, I'd be like, okay, that's inexperience. That's youthful exuberance. That's immatureness. But this cat older than me. No.
And a lot of times, Shannon Sharp, he's probably seen 100, 200 million several times in a lifetime. We haven't. Right? We probably spent 200 million, something like that, but we never probably seen checks 100 and 200 million. So that's probably nothing to him. Right? So, yeah.
Let me see what Shannon Sharp net.
Because you see, here's the thing though, right? Because not only did that happen, yeah, he did his little, I was embarrassed and stuff. But then he made nothing but jokes about it. You heard though, you heard though, Senko, I get it in though. I get it in. You know what I mean? Like he's making all them kind of jokes. I get it in. Like you guys understand. Like this is what I do. So I don't know. It's hard to say,
bro.
And at the same time, Michelle could have been a Mike. We never know.
But
again, at the same time, I don't care. Like, look, Danny, you're a grown man. Live your life. Do your thing. I don't care what you are, what you do.
It's saying right here, his net worth is only $14 million.
Only?
Yep.
Still.
That we know of.
I own it. I mean,
if it's only $14 million, that's.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I'm reading it right now. His net worth is $14 million. Now, if he already had contracts, he could potentially get to that. I wouldn't risk that. Let's say I'm a millionaire and I'm worth let's say $40 million, but I got things in the work and I'm going to potentially be able to earn in the next year or two or whatever time frame 200. I ain't doing nothing to mess that up, not intentionally.
So can I bring up one other thing? Like one other thing that's possible, maybe just slightly in the realm of it. We just saw the thing with Skip talking about how he's about ready to let things out and tell people all sorts of stuff. Is this maybe a way of Shannon Sharp maybe thinking, oh God, Skip might have something on me? And I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, is this his way of doing this and looking at it going like, maybe if I do this, if I push this out there, I can kind of manipulate the situation the way I want it to be manipulated.
If I think they were close, I would say yeah. I don't think we're like that. I think they were just colleagues. I don't think they were boys. Okay.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. Is this something that
I'm just saying? If they were boys and tight and was really going out.
I get that.
I'd be like, yeah. But if they were just colleagues, I don't know. But man, time will tell. Time will tell. Right, we're going on to the next topic, and that's going to be in the NBA. Kenny Smith breaks down the GOAT debate. Kenny Smith, one of the hosts on NBA Tonight on TNT, he was recently on Mark Jackson's podcast along with his son. And I got this off Dreamers Pro. And his son pretty much asked Kenny Smith, who used to play with Jordan in the Tar Heels, when he was a freshman, I think Jordan was coming on. And Kenny always said, I've heard this story several times, that Jordan didn't have very good handles, and during that time, he could take him, he could guard him. And this is pretty much what Kenny Smith says about his comparison to LeBron in the GOAT debate.
On the show. Take a listen to his comments here.
I know the question I got to ask because you're the perfect guest. Okay. Playing at North Carolina with Michael Jordan.
In the same backcourt.
In the
Hate me.
Hey, Danny.
Speed is the ultimate strength.
Next time I'll pull it up.
And in my recovery,
in the same backcourt. This is what the people want to know. It's not even me. I'm standing up for the people at this moment. Could Michael Jordan go left?
This is what I'm dealing with.
This is the hypocrisy of idiocy that is going on right now.
This is what the people want to see,
Did
man.
Michael Jordan go left?
You haven't heard we done with the 90s?
No, but listen what I'm saying. Listen.
Yeah. Help.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
No, you serious.
No, I'm not serious. I'm not serious.
You know what that would be like? That's like saying, can Prince play the guitar?
That's a great word.
Like, yeah, he had people in the band that played it.
Yeah.
But then that's Michael Jordan, man. Like, Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived. Complete. Like, Kareem was just as effective. Certain people could be, LeBron at times could be just as effective. But the most complete basketball player that ever lived is Michael Jordan. Completeness.
Preach.
So, like, his ability to do every aspect of basketball at the highest level. And I think that came from going to college. Because in college, the best...
I'm glad you're talking. I say that when he got to the pros, he had no weaknesses.
He had no weaknesses. Because what happens is, what college does, the best coaches are in college basketball. Because there's more. The best ones are there. So they design defenses and offenses that are different from the NBA. So you learn how to play against a zone defense. You learn how to play against a man-to-man, 1-3-1, 2-1-2. You know different defenses. NBA is just strict man-to-man. But your philosophies and thought process is from a totality of all of those defenses. Yeah. So now the game is easier for you, and you're much more easier. What I always say about Michael, what's different between even the great Kobe Bryant and great LeBron James is he was still the most fundamental basketball player. Like, LeBron's IQ is crazy, but the most fundamental, when you watch LeBron, you don't always say he's most fundamental. Yeah. So, correct hand in the passing lane. But that was Michael. He was the best athlete and the most fundamental because he went to college for 3 years and developed certain things. You know, Michael Jordan, those 3 years in college, imagine he only went 1 year. Oh my God, or none. Michael Jordan, most complete basketball player. Y'all average dudes would have been average. Y'all would have been average. You wouldn't have been great. You would not have been. You're a specialist. You might not have been in the league.
There are people that believe, as crazy as it sounds, I've heard this and I'm sure you've heard it, that there's a dude in prison or a dude in the streets that was better than Michael Jordan, just didn't get an opportunity. There's people that believe that.
Listen, man. That's like saying there's a dude in prison that could have done what Steve Jobs done.
It's not my opinion.
I didn't say you. I said
Michael Jordan.
You heard that argument.
I've heard that before.
He's the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs of basketball. Yeah. Is there a guy? If he's there, I hope he gets out. There's no one like that. He is the most complete basketball player. And then there's two. There's two. Yeah. Most effective, like LeBron James is effective. He can impact the game. You know that, but I just don't think defensively is where that's the separation to me. Is where defensively we used to run. I don't know if y'all did this. We used to run plays, right? We go, okay. Our coach Rudy T be writing on the board. He's like, okay, we're gonna run 5. But if Michael's on the right side, we're gonna run it on the left. Like, all right, say it one time, right? You think it's a joke. So I'm like, in my mind,
okay. I'm going to talk about this only between no other player, just Michael Jordan and LeBron. I am really so tired of this disrespect that this new media seems to have. If you're a student of the game, you got to go back and watch everything. The torch was passed. Connie Hawkins was first. Then Dr. J came. He took over. Dr. J passed it over to Magic. Magic passed over to Kobe. But people are seen to thinking like, and I know LeBron is great. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not. He's a leading scorer defensively. I mean, on rebounds and assists, he has more than Michael Jordan. But I just, in my heart, don't believe that he's a better all-around player. I don't think he had the respect, the fear that Michael Jordan had gave other players. And I think that, and what really is making me lean even more towards Michael Jordan is that I've never heard Michael Jordan call himself the GOAT or I'm the best, whatever. I don't think that's something that any player should do. No matter if you think you're the GOAT, you don't go out and say, make it public. Oh, that made me the GOAT. I did this. Or that made me the best player. Yeah, you can fake it, or you can say it with your boys around not being recorded, but to go out and say it, and to me that this gives a tone of arrogance that I don't like. And maybe some people may say I'm biased, but I can tell you truthfully, when Michael Jordan was playing, I can't remember missing more than maybe one, maybe two Bull games ever if they were televised. I can't tell you how many LeBron James games I missed. He wasn't must-see TV. To me, he wasn't. Michael Jordan was must-see TV. And this is just a little snippet of what someone that played against him and someone that knew his weaknesses before college, before the NBA, and saw him afterwards. So any thoughts or on that particular topic or
GG?
hello?
Okay, I thought you were gonna go. So, I am the relative LeBron hater, right? I'm not a fan of him, never have been. He's a great player. He's gonna go down as even right now one of the greatest players to ever play the game. When I see Jordan, of course, probably came up when Jordan was like the second three-peat. I think that's when I was kind of coming up. You see the commercials, right? I want to be like Mike, right? Everybody want to be like Mike. Even if you didn't like the guy, you were in awe of Michael Jordan, right? Because he's a man that I don't believe no player has a weakness. Everyone has a weakness, but to be a student to the point where, okay, I know this is my weakness, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get better. Or we just heard a story from Kenny Smith. You heard James Worthy talk about how Michael Jordan wasn't the best at first, but then all of a sudden he was the best, right?
Yep.
And he just had this mentality that I want to be the best. And yeah, he never said publicly that he's the GOAT, but you know in his mind, ain't nobody touching me. You know in his mind he's saying that.
Oh yeah, and it's not wrong to think that. It's just wrong to say it publicly.
And for me, I don't know how he leapfrogs over Kobe Bryant, to me. But LeBron is, and this notion that LeBron could play in every era. Yes, he could, physically. But mentally, I don't think he could play every era. I just don't think so. Michael Jordan could play on the ball, off the ball. Defensively, we heard stories about him and Scottie Pippen fighting, arguing about who's going to guard the best player, because they both want to guard the best player. Right? And you saw in the Olympics that Dream Team, right, where article Michael Jordan is bigger than a pope. Right? I don't think we will ever see that again. And LeBron, as great as he is, I know he has a huge fan base that wants. The biggest difference for me is Michael Jordan's fan base. There's no pushing the narrative that he's the great. You see it, you just know it. Well, LeBron James fan base more so they're trying to push that narrative, right, by putting Michael Jordan down just to bring LeBron up. And it's nothing. LeBron can get all the stats in the world. And to me, he will still never be the greatest player to ever play the game. That's just me.
Nzo.
All right. So first off, I ain't saying that Michael Jordan ain't great. I had an issue with him saying that Michael Jordan was the best fundamental player ever. It's not. That's Tim Duncan, but that's no here nor there, right? But when we get to,
I agree with you. I think he was saying, like, on all aspects of the game, that he was fundamentally sound on all aspects of it. I know Tim Duncan was probably the best fundamentally offensive player ever.
Right. Right. I'm not trying to be facetious or make jokes, but I think fundamental wise, like there was no one better than Tim Duncan. You know,
all right.
Just fundamentally. But now if we're talking about, okay, so here's my issue, right? And okay, so LeBron to me could have been bigger than Michael Jordan, but he did that stupid mistake where he did a press conference to decide where I'm gonna go. Right, that was mistake number one. Then he picks Miami. Then he's like, I'm not gonna win one. I'm gonna pick two. I'm gonna pick three. 4, 5, 8 championships. That was mistake number two. And then mistake number three was calling himself the GOAT after he had that 3-1 comeback. Oh, after that 3-1 comeback, I'm the GOAT. Right, that's his mistake. Now, I also believe that a lot of people talk about, oh, well, he's lost 6 finals, but they never give the context as to why he's lost so many. Some of them, yes, 100% were on him, but there were at least 2 or 3 finals where he didn't have his full players, right? He had injuries. Kyrie Irving was injured. Kevin Love was injured, right? So he didn't have his full team. And even in that series, he still took Golden State to, I think it was 2 or 3 games, right? He still won them on his own. So I think he gets a lot of disrespect because of that reason. But at the end of the day, I mean, if we go by how we go by, and stats, championships, and everything, even though LeBron James is leading in a lot of the categories, one, he's played longer, right, than Jordan. So that too, Jordan took 2 years off, so that's another issue. And he padded stats, you know what I mean, to get to where he was. So at the end of the day, yeah, 100%. It is Jordan. Jordan over LeBron. And I'm kind of with you there, JG. I kind of think in ways Kobe was better than LeBron. You know what I mean? But I still won't take away what LeBron has done. And I guess if people want to say he's number 2, I'm not going to argue with that because of what he's done. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I'm not going to take it away from he's great. If I had a chance to pick him on my team, oh yeah, I definitely would pick him. Not before Jordan, but if I got first pick and it's between Jordan and him, I'm going Jordan first. If the other person don't pick him, then guess who's gonna be number 2? LeBron.
Yeah.
The other person don't pick Kobe, guess who's gonna be Kobe. Yeah, but to just sit here and to like some of the things like Nick Wright. Oh, I hate Nick Wright. Nick Wright makes me want to fly to Connecticut and knock him out. He is purposely digging up stuff. Like they went through like the year that Jordan won the defensive year and leading score. They have gone through and systematically checked all of his assists, all of his, and I think that why are you going through all that? Because you can't change it. And even if go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think they're trying to find this bias, right? This bias that the NBA was, and I agree with that. I agree with that. But Kobe's had it, LeBron's had it, to a degree. Tim Duncan has had it, right? So at one point,
they better make sure when they open up that Pandora's box that their boy ain't had some status, because you don't think if they padded Jordan stacks in Chicago, you don't think they did the same thing to him in Cleveland or Miami?
Yeah, they've done it to everybody. All the big stars, you know what I mean? They get the benefit of the calls, hands down, right? So, if a rebound's coming one way and, 2 people have their hands on it, they're going to give it to Jordan, or they're going to give it to LeBron, or they're going to give it to Timmy. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do. So you can't just say, well, let's go break down everything Jordan and see if that's the case, then you have to do that for LeBron, you have to do it for Kobe and all these big guys, because you'll see that I've seen Kobe elbow, was it Mike Bibby in that Sacramento game? Elbow him in the face, and they called the foul on Mike Bibby. I'm like, okay, like, you know what I mean? So if you're gonna try and break it down like that, then it's just an irrelevant argument, because you could do that for anybody. So it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then you think about, I don't think Michael Jordan's ever been accused of quitting during a game, right? I don't think you ever heard that, or even somebody thinking that he would quit on the game, right? What was one of the big things players say when you play against Jordan? You never do. Don't talk to him.
Yep.
Don't talk to him, because as soon as you open that mouth, you finna see what Reggie Miller say was Black Jesus. Yeah, you'll see Black Jesus coming out. Not trying to be sacrilegious, Danny. Sorry. That's what Reggie Miller said that Mike Jordan said to him, right? And LeBron, one of the big things to him is keep talking trash to him. Keep talking to him, right? Because mentally, he's a physical specimen. We can't argue against that. He just is. 6'9", 280, or whatever he is.
I think when he first came in, I give him that. But now I think talking to LeBron don't mess with him. When he first came in,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw that Grizzly game with Bane. Bang was talking to him. LeBron
But
got out of his head. So it can happen. Maybe
no,
not as
no,
frequent as it was when it first
Dylan
came.
tried
Not Dylan
talking with
Brooks. Not Dylan Brooks.
No,
Bang.
no, but he tried. Dylan Brooks tried, and LeBron James took him to the hole and schooled this guy. And like he was like, "Give me the ball. He's on me. Give me the ball." I
That's
just don't
Dylan
think.
Brooks, though, man.
But the
think,
thing is,
yeah,
I don't think LeBron does that enough, though, right? It's not like he doesn't want the ball in crunch time. He's always
And that's what
looking
I
to
mean.
make the best play. Jordan and Kobe, they wanted to
wanted
take
it.
the last shot, right?
They wanted
Now,
that.
can you wrong him for wanting to make the right play, though? Not
No,
really,
I'm not holding that against them. I'm
right?
saying what's make them better. They got that killer instinct, that killer
Mhm.
edge. Me and you could be the same statistic wise. Anzo's a threat, Dan's a threat, Jay's a threat. But they say which one that dog, which one a little bit meaner. The one that's a little bit meaner, one's a little bit more what I want to say, got that edge. I think is going to be the better player, especially in a alpha male, high testosterone driven league, just like the NBA, and especially the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
There are several. I'm gonna give you a good comparison. Who do you think is a better linebacker? Boy from Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor?
Lawrence Taylor for me.
It's Lawrence Taylor.
What do you say?
Lawrence Taylor.
Because I think Lawrence Taylor had that. Now some people say that's coke, but
it probably was though because
when Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg, I was like, oh,
yeah.
So I just think if you get that more dog in you, that you're gonna be not all cases, but if I got to say 8 out of 10, you're gonna be more successful. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you too. But I also think that, and again, it goes both ways, right? Where a lot of people blame LeBron for certain things. I think a lot of people don't realize that Jordan has passed up that last shot too to make the right play, right? Because if you have basketball IQ, which Jordan and LeBron does, yes, there are times where Jordan did take over a game 100%, but there are also times where he was like, yo, gave it to Steve Kerr, pop a three, boom, win a championship, right? So he's done it. You know what I mean? I just think a lot of people, again, when, member berries and people don't remember things how they're always did.
I think he did that because he finally started trusting them. But at first, that cat didn't trust nobody. And then once he trusted him, he's like, okay. Cause I think he did the same thing with Paxson.
Yeah,
but,
Paxson,
Before that, man, he
Paxson,
was like, man, I ain't passing young shrubs. Once you get his respect.
But I think with Michael, when he made that pass, he gave praise to those guys for making that shot, right? We see LeBron, it's just one occasion that I know Nzo touched on when he said, when we came back 3-1, that made me the greatest player to ever play the game. Right? Instead of saying, yeah, that shot by Kyrie, that saved us. That won us that game. Right? When J.R. Smith cut off Iguodala to slow him down before LeBron made that epic block. Give praise to J.R. Smith for that. Like, when you sit there and say that made me the greatest player to ever play the game.
And you see, like, when J.R. Smith, when the time around the clock, when I think he was dribbling the ball or something happened.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. They want to look at J.R.
Yeah. But also, but there's also you are a little bit correct on that, JG, because even the championship that they won against the Spurs, Ray Allen saved them. You know what I mean? Ray Allen saved them. So it wasn't
let's not forget that first championship they went to. If it weren't for Boobie Gibson coming in, he was like 12th man on the bench. Nobody paid attention to him. He came in those final series and just was killing.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Boobie Gibson, there wouldn't be no championship that year for them. So, I mean, give respect and homage to players around you, man. That's all I gotta say.
No, I don't have an issue with that. I agree with you.
You muted, Eddie.
Yeah. I think keep jumping off myself. But we're gonna get to the next topic, which is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is one of the premier receivers for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he always is saying something to get into the headlines. I think earlier this year, he said something I think was actually like the top 10 quarterbacks or whatever. He's like, I'm not saying that guy who you want me to say because he has this big time rivalry against Kansas City Chiefs. But this last thing he said this week, I don't think it was too smart, but he was like, they are the team to beat. The Bengals are the team to beat in the AFC. Like, y'all just lost to the Patriots. Why would you say that? That's why they put a mic in front of your mouth. So he was questioned about, look, because when he first played Kansas City, he lined them up. I forgot, it was like 9 catches, 190-something yards. I think the stat I remember. So he has proved that he can play against those guys. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bengals has beat the Chiefs 3 times out of 4. I think I heard that stat somewhere. I don't want to say that for certain. I know if Chris was here, he'd be like, but I think that Cincinnati has the Chiefs' numbers. But the main thing is Joe Burrows can't stay healthy. And it also doesn't help when your receivers out there writing checks that your team can't necessarily cash. So do you think he was correct for saying that? Was it overconfidence? Was it the right thing to say? Or should he say no comment? Or should he just let his play do his talking? We want to go first.
Yeah, you let your play do your talking. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of like, and that's what I was saying too, like earlier, like I kind of like some of the cockiness. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do. But at the end of the day, you have to know you just lost your first game, or let me say, you have to know when to be cocky. All right, you just lost your first game to New England, who I had like was like, there's no way they're losing to New England, and sure enough, they lost to New England. Right? You have the Pittsburgh, you have Baltimore, you have a lot of these teams that are really good, but then you claiming that you're the team to beat and you lost your first week. Nah, you don't do that. I no, that's not the time to be cocky.
Yeah, he reminded me of the guy. What's the guy from Dallas that talks all that trash?
Talking about the receiver?
No, the linebacker. Or what?
Talking about God, what's his name?
I forget his name. But yeah, he talks a lot of trash, and then when they lose, he has an excuse. Look, even when I played high school and JUCO route, we talk trash, right? We talked a lot. But when that camera's in front of you, or that microphone's in front of you, or in my case, newspaper was in front of you, or the local paper or whatever.
Michael Parsons, yeah.
That paper's in front of you. You try to be as humble as possible, right? Because like you said, you don't want to write a check your mouth can't cash. And I get it. You play the Chiefs, you beat them, like what you say, 3 out of 4 times. You feel like you got the number, you can get in their hands or whatever. Hey, great for you, but man, when you lose, if you lose that game, keep that same energy, brother. That's all I gotta say. Keep that same energy.
Yeah. I don't think it's something I would have said, and these coaches probably need to say, hey, look, yeah, it's good to be confident, but we might be needed to just chill out. Let's go ahead and get this win under our belt, and then if we do something, then we can say talk a little noise. Or because in this league, man, they love stuff to put on the bill on the board. So you don't want to give that team nothing to put on the board.
Mm-hmm. And then again, Chiefs, they're a Super Bowl winning team. I mean, what can you say to them? Right? It's just you're still trying to get your first one.
Last 5 games, Chiefs. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals been on top. So
over the Chiefs.
Yep.
I mean, it's regular season game 2. We saw what happened with Chiefs last season. The season can turn around at any moment. You beat me once, oh well. I'll see you again in the playoffs.
Yep. But you can't, man. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes did the same deal that Tom Brady did, but you can't underestimate that cat because he don't look athletic. When he walks, like he hurting. He walk off pointing like, but that cat can move and scramble and throw all kind of craziness.
Mm-hmm. And the Chiefs aren't really a hard team to beat. It's just typically you just can't make mistakes with them. Once you make that mistake, it's over.
They get a good coach. A lot of times when the Chiefs win, they're outcoached. Mm-hmm. Their coach outcoaches their opponent's coach.
And I agree with you. They're not always that hard to beat, but you also can't give Mahomes the ball in the last couple minutes of the game.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
You gotta make sure. Yeah. If you take the lead and say you got like 45 seconds left, that's too much time. You better have like 25 seconds left. And your defense
that might be too much time with him.
Your defense better be stout. Because if they're not, that cat, he'll do something.
Thanks.
Incredible. Or,
And we've seen him do it many times.
Yeah. He's becoming Brady-like. I'm like, oh.
So let me ask you this, Danny. If he
Yes,
does,
sir.
will you end up hating him?
No, well, I can't say that because Chris makes you sick when you start talking about Kansas City. Oh God, he makes me sick sometimes when you start that soliloquy on Kansas City. But I get the devil they do. I mean, I ain't really. I mean, I like Brady, but it ain't like he's my favorite quarterback of all time. Just statistically, that cat's a beast.
Yeah. But I think Chris would make me really hate Mahomes.
Yeah.
Let him get to like 5 or 6 championships.
Oh my Lord.
Or actually,
no, they do this three-peat. Oh my Lord.
I was just about to say that. If they do the 3-peat, oh my God.
It's gonna be a tough season this year if they do that 3-peat. Oh my Lord. God, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever give Mahomes that respect because how long has Troy Aikman been retired?
It's
been a while, right?
Yeah.
I still can't stand that dude. Right? I'm a 49er fan, so it is no matter what Mahomes does.
You can't stand Troy Aikman.
I'm a 49er. There is no respect. There is no homage. I don't know.
Yeah,
Emmitt Smith, same thing with him. I can't stand him.
Oh, you're a hater. You're a hater.
I'm a 49er fan. I gotta hate. It's just
but I agree with you because I still hate the 49ers till this day. And Quentin makes it even worse.
Yeah. I got something about that. So next few topics. Next topic. Are the Dolphins in trouble? Are the Miami Dolphins in trouble? They're not starting off their season very well this year. Week 1, Tyreek Hill got into a little bit of off the field issues with law enforcement. Some people say that it was a racial thing. Some people say that the officer was a little extra. Some people say Tyreek was a little bit extra. I think both of them a little extra, but I think that when you're in that kind of situation and you are wrong, then you probably want to check your ego and your tone at the door. I think if you could check his ego and tone at the door, then it probably wouldn't have escalated. Because being a law enforcement officer, I can tell you right now, the more attitude, the more energy you have, the more motivated we are to take some of your money. And in some cases, some are motivated to take your freedom. So that's just a fact. I'm not sitting here trying to sugarcoat it. Right attitude usually comes out with right results. Negative and poor attitude usually going to come out. Either you're going to be arrested or you're going to lose some money. Or you're definitely going to lose your time if you take it to court. But if you do things by the book, then you're going to lose that money. And not only is it going to hurt you, you're going to lose that money. Then your insurance is going to go up because of the ticket. So it's going to hurt you multiple ways. In this particular case, I think what took some of the heat of it is because the officer was not white. If the officer had been white, this would have been way bigger than what it already is. But the officer was a minority as well, Hispanic officer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I saw some energy. Some energy from Tyreek. I saw some energy from the officer. But I think at the end of the whole situation, the whole incident, they shook hands. But then Tyreek still, I think, went to the stadium and then more like he had his hands behind his back, this kind of stuff. People got to realize, and I wish I could talk to one of these big media people, the same way that some media journalists are crappy and do crazy things, that's the same thing in any profession. But they love to put this negative connotation on officers about this and this. That ain't everybody. That's not all officers. And the same way that you may have a bad day, some officers have a bad day. Now, we are held at a higher standard because we have taken that oath. But at the end of the day, we are human beings as well. Now, the flip side of that is Tua. I don't know how many concussions he's had in his past few years, but I'm thinking at least 2 or 3. And it seems like every time he has this concussion, he gets stiff, his hand goes a certain way, and I don't think he's kind of out of it for a few seconds. I don't know if that's a good thing because from what I've always been told and what I've researched is once you have a concussion, it's even more easier to have a next concussion and the next concussion. And then when's going to be that hit that maybe he won't be able to recover from? So my question is, are the Miami Dolphins in trouble with off-the-field antics and with the antics, well, not the antics, but the issues that their star quarterback is having for his health-wise? Whoever wants to go first.
100% health-wise, yes, there's an issue with that because we know what those concussions do. CTE, right? That's no joke, right? You had football players committing suicide. You had them killing people, doing things out of the normal because of all the brain damage they have taken through their hits. So honestly, I don't know if it's like, oh well, should he retire? I don't know that yet. I'm not at that moment yet. But definitely he needs to consider it because he's in some serious trouble when it comes to the concussion thing. The Tyreek Hill stuff, I mean, like we said, there was issues on both sides. You know what I mean? Like he shouldn't have acted up the way he did, and the cop took it a little bit too far. And I'm not even sure if this is correct, but I heard that the cop actually called him to apologize. So if that's the case, then I have to put a little bit more of the problem on the officer if you actually calling him to apologize because now you know who he is. You know what I mean? Before that, he was just a black man, but now old Tyreek Hill.
But that could be from higher up making him do that.
It could be. It could be. It could be that too. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of politics in certain people.
No, I agree with you. But even still, even if it's the higher ups doing that too, right? Does that mean that they think the cop was in the wrong? You know,
that means that they don't want no negative publicity for their police department from the NFL. They don't want NFL on their bad side.
Probably. They probably don't.
I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying I have a friend
right.
who is a police officer, who's a deputy sheriff down there, and he makes very good money doing off duty. In fact, he sent a picture. He was doing night patrol, and guess who ran down the neighborhood on the bike? John Travolta. Takes a picture. John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Sends it to us. Like what? So it's a lot of celebrities down there. I ain't saying it's right, but you know there's going to be preferential treatment. So that may be something that's coming from higher up saying, hey, look, we are partners with the NFL. We don't want to be on their bad side.
Do the security during the games and stuff
and
like that.
Sure they get pretty good money doing that, bro.
Yeah. Because I'm sure it's like off-duty cops that are doing the security there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I do it all the time.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, that's funding. You know what I mean? Maybe a donation to the police fund over there, and NFL is now they're not cheap. You know what I mean? They're gonna put some money in their pockets. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember it was a decade ago, but I got put over by the officer, and to me, I felt like he was kind of a jerk. But I was in the wrong, my tax route, didn't know it, but the way he came at me was like, hey, kind of like Tyreek Hill did, like, hey, well, you didn't have to come at me like that, right? Like, I said I'm in the wrong, write me the ticket, right? But you know, he had this kind of attitude on him. Maybe it was more so me because I didn't feel like getting pulled over, get a ticket, but you know, then I saw him again. He was working a side job at Best Buy. And I remember I walked to him, I said, hey, aren't you a police officer? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah, you pulled me over the other day. Oh man, was I a jerk? I said, yeah, we had a talk. He apologized and we talked for a good 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, that. So after that conversation, I had a different respect for him after the conversation. Mm-hmm. But even when I was working at FedEx Forum, I talked to a lot of like off-duty officers who work security there. And I remember talking to them about stories and stuff they told me about. So when it comes to officers and doing certain things, I have a different outlook on them. I respect, because my uncle was a police officer as well, God rest his soul. And so, yeah, that whole situation, I think both parties did more than what they should have. But, you know, it is what it is. What's done is done. But in regards to this Dolphins situation, I don't think that is going to be a problem, because like any team that's together, they always rally amongst each other and move on as a team. I think the injury to Tua is going to be the problem, because I don't know if they have a backup, because in that offense, you need a kind of a mobile guy for that offense to succeed. And for Tua to be, 26, I think, 3 concussions, he really needs to look hard at retiring in the next couple of seasons. Because, I mean, I've had 2 myself. And the first one, it was a minor one, is easy to get over. That second one, when you had a hard time spelling your name in the classroom for about a couple weeks, yeah, he needs to go ahead and get ready to retire. Because, the players are getting faster, they're getting stronger. No matter what protocols you put in place, players are still getting hurt a lot more easily. And he has a long life ahead of him. And being 26, 3 concussions, if I were him, if he hasn't already, start getting things in order, put things in place to start off your career outside of football.
The backup quarterback name is Skylar Thompson.
Nah, that ain't gonna work. And he still had a good game, 23 for 37, 338, 1 touchdown.
Well, hell, bro. Now, one time Brady was the backup quarterback for Drew Bledsoe, and look what happened.
Yeah, but this ain't no Tom Brady.
And Gordon and Love was the backup for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm telling you, man, Love got ice waters in his veins. That cat, he don't.
Who?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love for Green Bay.
Yeah,
that cat I ain't see him shook yet.
But
even when he throw an interception, he'd be like, okay, let's go. Next.
But even Aaron Rodgers backed up like Brett Favre for how many years?
Yep.
And then came in and they didn't really lose a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I ain't saying he Tua, but maybe he can get him over the hump to Tua can come back.
And with that offense, I mean, if he can just hold it together.
Yep.
Like you said, until Tua gets back, maybe they'll be okay.
2 good quality receivers. You got Waddle on one side, and you got Hill on the other side. Hey.
Not to mention those stacked running backs they got.
Yep. So they got the tools in the toolbox, whether or not he know how to use them or not is remains to be seen. All right. Next question. Next topic. Which team looked the most polished? When we saw this first week, which team looked the most polished? And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Oh, I hate this coming out my mouth. But barring injury, I don't see nobody beating the 49ers this year. Them suckers is firing on all cylinders. Deebo Samuel lost about 20, 30 pounds. He looking more slender. Kittle looking good. Ayuk just got his contract. He looking good. The quarterback still on his rookie contract. The backup running back after McCaffrey looked just as good as McCaffrey.
Jordan Mason, yep.
So they ain't dropped. They ain't missed a step in nothing. So Barn, and then don't let McCaffrey come back and do what he did last year. So the more polished team, and God, I hate saying this, but right now, based on what I seen just last week, and then tomorrow I'm going to make sure I watch that game. I think they play the Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken. But 49ers, like they going for another one, bro. Nzo, what you thinking?
You know what I'm thinking.
I think he goes to Pittsburgh.
Steelers all day, every day. That's right.
I say look the most polished. Pittsburgh did not look the most polished, bro. Come on, we need honest questions. We need honest answers.
Honest answers. Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean?
Look more polished.
I just need a little bit more time for Justin Fields to get it going with offense, and Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the Super Bowl.
I ain't say what you want. So you mean tell me now? They look better than Dallas.
Every single team that I want. Right.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a troll. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
that's what you being a homer.
I ain't trolling. I ain't trolling. That's my word, and I'm sticking to it. There.
Wow.
Okay. Well, for me, it's actually a tie with 2 teams, right? One, of course, you know where I'm going to go. The second one, I can't believe I'm uttering this team out of my mouth.
Eagles.
But the 49ers and Cowboys.
Okay.
Those 2 teams don't look like they missed a beat. Cowboys, they're a great regular season team, but playoff time, like Stephen A. Smith says, just wait. They'll screw up.
Boy, Cowboys defense, look.
Yeah. But
crazy.
The 49ers, man, like you said, it's woo. If they can just get a little more offensive line help, because Purdy's running around more than I would like him to. But yeah, man, 49ers and Cowboys.
Roberto's gonna be your weakest link.
Who?
Purdy. Sorry.
Purdy.
Yeah.
Purdy hasn't lost us any games. It was just no offensive line help. The offensive line was horrible. Coaching was
and then injuries, man.
bad.
Debo
Yeah,
can't stay
injuries too.
healthy. Debo and McCaffrey, man, they stay injured.
Yep.
I agree.
Debo gonna miss
Purdy-
about 2-3 games. McCaffrey
know,
gonna
I
miss.
just-
He's already missed what 4 weeks up.
I'm wondering why did he lose weight? He should be muscled up as much pounding as he take.
Who?
Yeah, you would think.
Debo.
Oh.
Debo lost about 30 pounds. They said. I'm like, what? I guess he want the speed over the strength, but the kind of running, the kind of receiver he is, I want that. Take that pounding. I don't want to take no doggone Chris is back.
Yeah, because they use him kind of like a flanker, right? He's in the backfield. He's in the inside. He's on the outside.
Yeah, sometimes he run what you call it, the offense where they hike the ball right to him. I can't think.
Oh
of it.
yeah, that
Wildcat
offense. Yeah.
So he is versatile. The question we have on now, Chris, is which team looked the most polished after season one?
After game one?
Alzo said Pittsburgh. I said 49ers. JG said 49ers in Dallas. Who'd you say?
Oh, right now, I'd have to
say your team.
Right now, I'd probably go with Dallas or San Francisco.
Man, I'm telling Kansas City, bro.
No,
we're fanatic fans, man. You know what I mean? We gotta stick.
You know me, man. When it was going up against Philadelphia for the Super Bowl, I was like, I don't know. No, there's some stuff. I am not a fake fan. I'm realistic. So you guys never give me credit for the fact of bullshit like Tyreek Hill and shit.
Built-in excuse. When they lose, see, I told you.
No. It ain't that either. It ain't that either.
Danny,
right now,
Super Bowl this year.
Hey, what's the first thing he said, Nzo?
Huh?
So up the season, right? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Lord, please don't let them three-peat. If we three-peat, we will not be able to tolerate Chris for about 6 months. Oh my God.
Danny, ask me who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Chris?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
They can do it.
Right now, most polished, probably Dallas or San Francisco.
Yeah,
but
Dallas defense,
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, but
I will give you the Devils, dude. Kansas City defense didn't look bad either.
They didn't, but they still have. I mean, they still have some issues they got to figure out. They didn't play a lot of their guys with each other during preseason. So
you know what their biggest issue is, Danny?
Taylor Swift is Kelsey. He ain't.
No.
He don't look nothing like he used to me.
You know what their biggest issue is, Danny? What? They got rid of Tyreek Hill.
No, it isn't. Oh my God. Again, I said it back then, I'll say it again. It's not like we're hurting for him. And the thing is if we had kept him, we wouldn't have won these 2 Super Bowls because we would have had to pay way too much money for him. That's why they got rid of him.
I don't believe that.
I do. I fully believe it. Everybody in this town says it. We know he would have wanted way too much money, and we wouldn't have been able to get the things we've gotten with how he did. That was the best damn thing we did for our team.
Y'all won in spite of him, but I don't think I would have lose with him on the team.
We wouldn't have had the defense we had last year. We wouldn't have been able to make the moves we've made. No, we would, and you can't do it with just one person.
They lose the Steelers. If they lose to the Steelers, I'm done for the season. What you talking about? Please don't hurt us, Steelers. We can't get much. You talking about Broncos? Bro, you might as well be done for the season because Broncos ain't beating the Steelers. Sorry.
No, absolutely.
Next question. Which player looked the most improved season one? I mean,
none.
One. Oh no. Yes, it is.
I don't think any of them. Listen, I'm not ready to make that call yet.
I am.
Because well, who do you say?
Man, Saquon Barkley looked like a whole different running back.
I think. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Time out.
smoking.
Is that improvement, or is that just called he's not on the New York Giants anymore? Come on, let's be honest with yourself.
Most improved. You like he wants to be on the team. Him and Hurt got a very good relationship. They show behind the scenes, very competitive, very friendly already. He running harder. He got a better line. He looks way. I think Tyreek Hill probably gonna be the best running back this season. If you don't get
You mean Saquon Barkley?
Saquon Barkley. If you don't get Hill, if you don't get hurt.
Okay. With that being said, okay, I'll go with you, but again, I don't call that improvement. I call that he's on a team that can actually do something for him now. The Giants couldn't do crap for him, and that I don't know if that's improvement.
They say the same thing about Barry Sanders, and he still made it work.
Cool.
That's true, but I think Barry Sanders a once in a generation type running back. I'm not even sure if
I ain't denying that. I'm just saying he didn't have a very good line. He didn't have a very good team.
Yeah, Barry Sanders, and despite the Detroit Lions did things, again, I don't know if anybody else could, but I won't disagree with you on Saquon Barkley. I just think it's more change of scenery, change of a team that actually can block for the guy. I don't think anybody ever questioned what Saquon Barkley could do. It's just nobody thought he was going to do much there. And the Giants, and look at the Giants now. I mean, the Giants are just the Giants are in even deeper trouble than they were with him. But I'll agree with you on it.
And to me, Saquon Barkley was always considered one of the top running backs in the league. It's just the fact that he was on a crappy team. So you put him somewhere there, and I think I guess you could say because he's running better right now after the first game, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of with Chris. I don't see that as best improvement.
And I don't necessarily think I'm ready to make that call week.
Like I said, I based it on week one. That was, if you read the question, based on week one.
Yeah, I know.
Just from your eye test. I think that Saquon Barkley on paper, and then the fans' minds was considered one, but he stayed hurt all the time because he didn't have a line. Now he has a line, and we see what he can do. He's probably protected for the team he's excited about playing with.
So
I could be wrong.
But is that?
I'll say it. And I think he's going to be the best. I think he's going to be the best running back this season.
Of course, 100%. That's nothing wrong saying that. But what I'm saying is, if he gets hurt again, will you change your mind?
No. I'm just
saying. Well, he's asking week one, and I get that. But again, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I count that as improvement, because I don't think he's improved at all. I think he is what he is. And I think he's now able to do those things because he has that line. I don't think that means he's a better player than he was last year. I just think it means, when you bring up Barry Sanders, man, I don't know. There's just certain people out there, Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp, some of those names out there, they did things. Deion Sanders, they did things, and I don't think it mattered what the team around them was. They just were able that they were that type of a player. I don't think Saquon Barkley is the type of player that he can play and run without a line. He's good, but he's not Barry Sanders.
And then we can also go the other way too, right? You had Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott. These guys had great seasons. Well, Ezekiel's still on the team, but Le'Veon Bell.
He came back.
He came back. So they didn't do nothing. You know what I mean?
They didn't. But yeah, to your point, Danny, yes, Saquon Barkley looked really, really good.
Yeah. JG, your thoughts?
Well, about Saquon Barkley, I would kind of agree with Chris and Nzo. Like, he's, even with the Giants, he was never said to be a bad running back. He was.
I paid you to agree with me, JG. I paid you good money to agree with me.
But if I want to go with most improved week one, man, I'm gonna have to go with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Murray, even though they lost. Kyle Murray.
Well, Baker and Kyle Murray, you're right. Kyle Murray did not look bad. He threw a couple. I think he threw a couple bad passes, but he actually, I was about ready to call him a lost cause, but that game against Buffalo, he actually, I was looking at it going like, okay, all right, maybe.
I would say he's showing a lot more patience. At least it's week one.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
I
not
didn't
constantly
even
getting
watch
on
that
run.
game. Panthers.
Yeah, he's
That
not.
game, when I see the Panthers, Tampa Bay, and I think I sent it to one of my buddies. It was the Raiders playing the Chargers. I was like, man, why they got Tony Romo calling this game?
You were texting. Yeah,
He's
you said that.
balanced.
I told you Brady's God. So Brady gets the game that Brady gets whatever game.
Well, Brady
I
gets
don't know.
some heat for his not having enough fire.
I don't know. He sounded like he did. I mean, he spent too many years with Bill Belichick, and how Bill Belichick did a press conference. He's one note. I mean, can he get better? Sure, he can, but I don't know.
Yeah, and then I look at Baker Mayfield. He's another one. A guy, not everybody, but a lot of people said he's not going to live up to what people initially thought he would be. But man, he's taking control of that Tampa Bay team, and he's doing pretty good. I think they're a sleeper team to me. They're a team that if they can hurt me from making the playoffs, that's a team I wouldn't want to face. But yeah, Kyle Murray, Baker Mayfield, my two improvements so far.
The question I always have with Baker Mayfield, it was like Derek Carr. Man, it's just when are they going to implode?
Yeah.
Because they inevitably you're like, oh my god, maybe they got it, and then boom, and it's like, okay, well, never mind, sorry. I mean, yeah, but no, I agree. Baker Mayfield, even last year, he had some rough games, but he looked like he was getting, like, that team's working with him. I mean, it's really something. It seems like that team's better suited for him than anything they ever did with the Browns. I think the Browns wanted the quarterback, but they didn't want to build the team around the quarterback. They built a team and expected the quarterback to work with the team, and it just never did work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next topic. We're going to rank our 5 teams now based on what we've seen the first week from 5th to 1st. Also, what's your number 5 team?
What, like best teams of the season?
Yeah, based on what we've seen right now, from like a carry on from last year. What is your number 5 team?
I'll go San Francisco.
San Francisco, you got San Francisco.
Oh, you hater.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Francisco.
I gotta write this down. I ain't believing this.
San Francisco number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. JG. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Anzo said San Fran. Wow. JG, what's your number 5?
Ooh, the 5 was hard because it's just week 1 and the really good teams will struggle, but they'll bounce back. But I'm gonna go with the Saints for number 5.
Saints.
Whoa! That's
They look really good. They look really
good. But again, remember Derek Carr. They look really good this week.
They will implode, of course, but it's gonna happen.
Chris,
okay,
number
5, Baltimore.
Whoa. Ooh, that's low. Okay. All right. My number 5 is the Lions.
Okay.
The Lions against the Rams. They didn't win it. They won it. They gritted it out. But I think right now, I got to make my number 5. My number 4, I have the Ravens.
Okay.
JG, what's your number 4?
Bills.
Chris, your number 4.
I'll agree with JG. I think it's the Bills right now.
Bills. Ozzo, what's your number 4?
Dallas.
Wow. Shot. All right, we're going to roll right back. JG, what's your number 3?
Cowboys.
Wow. Ozzo, what's your number 3?
My number 3, Baltimore.
Ravens. My number 3 is the Chiefs. Chris, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Dallas.
Wow. Okay. Number 2, Anzo. What's your number 2?
Kansas City.
KC.
You can't say it. You just can't say it, can he?
JG, what's your number 2?
I'm gonna go to Chiefs as well. They're the team to beat Super Bowl champion.
Chris, your number 2.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. My number 2 is the Eagles.
Okay.
All right.
They're close into the top 5.
My number 1 is San Fran. JG, your number 1.
Niners.
Chris, your number 1.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
And Anzo, I know what your number 1 is.
Then just say it for me, Danny.
The Steelers.
100%. All day, every day.
Wow. How much is hard?
My rankings are backed by the power rankings. I know this.
Yeah, you just copied and pasted from.
No, I'm driving. I'm driving.
Well, you
I'm
weren't
driving. I haven't even looked this week.
You weren't driving all day. Danny sent you.
I've been driving during the whole stream. I went inside to break down my show. That's it. I haven't been on my phone.
So you're driving when you woke up this morning?
Yes. I'm always driving, man. Every day I'm hustling.
You had enough time to send me the pics already, so you had enough time to look at the power.
I was driving when I sent you the pics.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last
Every day I'm hustling.
What are week 2 picks for square one? Week 2 picks for square one. I will start off.
Hold on, let me get my list up here.
Yeah,
all right. What's that?
The first game on my list is, hold on, let me pull it up.
I have it here, Danny. I'll ask them. I got everything set up here.
Okay.
Who you taking? San Francisco. So we did the Buffalo, Miami one already.
No.
So first one we have is San Francisco, Minnesota.
Oh, San Fran.
San Fran.
All right. Danny said San Fran. I'm saying San Fran. Chris? Chris?
San Fran. I'm sorry. I had to switch back and forth. So, sorry.
No problem. All right. San Fran. I'm pretty sure Roberto's taking San Fran, but I won't put it. Next up, we have Seattle versus New England. JG?
Seattle.
Danny?
New England.
Chris?
I have Seattle. Although New England did surprise me last week.
And I'm taking Seattle too. All right. Washington versus the Giants. Chris?
I have Washington. Does anybody else have anything else? I mean, really, who's this Giants team? Are they a new team? Are they like a starter league thing?
Oh, I picked Washington as well.
I'm taking Washington as well. JG?
Washington.
We have Los Angeles Clippers versus Carolina.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Carolina's one of those other starter teams that just came in this year, didn't they?
Pretty much. Who are you taking, Danny?
Chargers.
Chargers. JG?
This is a toss-up game, but I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Really?
I didn't like how the Chargers looked last week. And
I didn't either, but
it's the Panthers, so I'm going to go with the Chargers.
You taking the Chargers, Chris?
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the Panthers. I mean.
And I am taking the Chargers as well.
Right now, Carolina should be called the Kitty Cats.
We have Dallas versus New Orleans. I'm taking Dallas. Danny?
Cowboys.
Chris?
Boys.
And JG.
Saints for the upset.
It's okay. We already know what JG's picks are like when we see him last week.
Because Cowboys are
Not
going
worried
against
about
them. I don't care.
I don't like the Cowboys, but I'm not going to lose a game just because.
I mean, if there's money involved there, I would pick the Cowboys. If it's not, I'm going to Saints.
We have Indiana versus Green Bay. Chris?
Indianapolis, I believe.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
You chipped out.
You're going in and out.
I've been in.
All right. I'll skip him for now. Danny?
You said Indianapolis versus who?
I said I have Indianapolis.
Okay.
I'm going Green Bay.
You know Love's out, right?
Yeah, I'm still thinking on it.
Okay.
I'm going Indy. JG?
Man, I'm gonna go Green Bay.
All right. Next up is Cleveland versus Jacksonville. Ooh, I'm taking Cleveland. JG?
I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
Chris?
Jags.
Danny?
Jacksonville.
All right. Next up, we have New York Jets versus Tennessee. Danny?
Jets.
Chris?
Jets, Jets.
JG?
Jets.
And I too am going with the Jets on this one.
Going with your favorite quarterback, aren't you there, Anza?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am. Next up is we have Detroit and Tampa Bay. I am taking Detroit. JG?
Tampa.
Really?
Yep.
Danny?
Detroit.
Chris?
I want Tampa Bay to win, but I'm going with Detroit.
All right.
I think the Rams are improved this year, so I think that's why it was such a close game. Plus, we're seeing it the first two seasons of this three preseason games. They're just everybody has to knock some rust off. So Detroit did not look that bad.
Raiders versus Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore.
Who'd you
Danny?
go for? Detroit.
Oh, I took Detroit. And I'm taking Baltimore in the next one. Baltimore versus Raiders.
Baltimore.
Danny said Baltimore. Chris?
Baltimore.
JG?
Baltimore.
Next up is the Rams versus Arizona. JG?
Arizona.
Chris?
I'm going to go Rams.
I'm actually going with the Rams too. Danny?
Rams.
Next up, we have Cincinnati versus Kansas City. Chris?
Kansas City.
Of course. I too am going with Kansas City. Danny?
KC.
JG?
I'm gonna go Cincinnati.
Yeah, I know you are.
Thank you.
I know it.
Feel really feel good about this now. Feel better about this game now. Feel a lot better about this game now. You pick Cincinnati.
JG picked the Giants. Yeah.
Every time I go against the Chiefs, they win every time.
He's making some. If you make his picks hit, boy.
What are you talking about? The past two times they played, Cincinnati's lost.
No, I agree with you, Danny. If his picks hit, yeah, he's gonna blow through everybody. But we seen last.
Oh yeah, he's gonna sweep us.
Yeah, JG's picks don't hit, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, they never do.
Next up, we have
He has all the confidence in the world for himself too.
Yep.
Pittsburgh versus Denver. Danny,
Pittsburgh.
Chris,
Pittsburgh.
JG.
Broncos. No, I'm joking. Steelers.
Boy, I was gonna say, boy.
Well, you can keep picking on that other side. It'd make me feel a lot better about my picks. Be like, okay, all right, I got something going on.
Well, I'm actually taking Denver because I don't trust Pittsburgh in this one.
Oh,
But
whatever.
I'm joking. I'm taking Pittsburgh. All day.
Jeez. There is no way in hell.
Chicago versus Houston. Chris.
I believe I have Houston on this one. Let me see here. Yeah, I have Houston.
JG.
See, this is a tough game because last week either the Colts are that good or Houston was just shaking off some rust. But I'm gonna go with Houston.
I'm going to flip a script. I'm going to go with Chicago. Chicago's defense looked really good on that one, so I'm going to go with Chicago. Danny?
Houston, Texas.
God damn, you guys. Both you guys, man. All right. And the last game of the week is Atlanta versus Philly. Danny?
Eagles.
Chris?
Eagles. If I go for Atlanta again, I'm going to shoot myself. My God, that just pissed me off last week.
JG?
Oh.
Eagles.
All right. So the picks are
Now, as soon as you get Roberto's, post them to us.
So
yeah, 100%.
You got Eagles, Alzo?
I got Eagles, yes.
Because he should have been here to give these picks.
Absolutely.
McGough.
And just to know, on the Sunday game, I was joking. I actually did take the Bills. I was just
On the Thursday game?
What?
Uh-huh.
What?
I'm sticking by what I said. I told you to switch it to the Dolphins, and I meant it.
Nah. No.
No,
I'll take the loss.
I can't take it. I can't fix that.
Method in my madness. I'll take that loss. Hey, what did you guys say about Tua?
That
retiring?
You think he's retiring?
No, he may need to consider it.
Oh, well, I mean, I think he considered it 2 years ago, but like I said, I think
You take care of his money, he should be able to live comfortably.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you know what gets me is I hate seeing these next up quarterbacks like him who really do have talent and can play, but they're just glass. He has got a real problem, and I'm not sure if it's something he can get out of him because he just can't. Again, that concussion, this one in particular, is all on him. He had the first down. He could have gone down. I mean, I think it's poetic justice that it was Hamlin that it was against. I mean, the guy that almost died on the field. I mean, this is interesting, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to retire, but the NFL is eventually going to have to put in a rule that states, the NFL, if they call it as a concussion, you can only have so many in this many days, like in this many months. And I mean, he hasn't hit that, but the NFL needs to start protecting itself from this stuff because
100%.
I mean, they're going to have to start saying, listen, if you have 3, concussions within a year and a half, we're going to call it, and you're going to have to either retire or you can be a backup or something, but you can't not be a starter because, I mean, it's just dangerous. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Tua, but the guy's got some talent, so it sucks that it's happening to him. But obviously, he has a type of way of playing that just lends it to it. So, anyways,
I agree with you. I think they need to start protecting some of these guys, and especially protecting them from themselves because man. when
But a
you
lot of
get to
times,
the end of life, you want to have a good quality of life, and those I've had a concussion, and I still get migraines from it till today. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's not easy, man.
yeah,
Go ahead,
it's
JJ.
like I said. I hope his mom's talking sense into him, even talk sense to himself. That I need to save this money and get ready for life after football because 3 concussions that we know of. Because we know a lot of
Well,
players they get one, they won't tell anybody about it.
it's 3 official.
3 official, yeah.
But
So
remember, the first year or 2 he was in, they didn't have this new concussion protocol in. So we don't know. That's the bad thing for him.
and I don't know if there's any rule you can put in place
I think
that protect them as much as you already have.
when you start putting these rules in place, I think that's infringed upon the person's freedoms. I mean, because he's a
Well,
grown man.
but your job, Danny, your job, the team, the place you work, the place of business, whatever it is you do, has the right to restrict your freedoms to a certain point. You can't, and I'm just going to go way off the metric of things that you can and can't do. But for you and your job, you can't walk in and like unlock a room at your work and shoot a porno. But you can go home and unlock a door and do it there if you want. Now, I'm not saying that you are able to. I'm just saying there are certain things your job can tell you, no, you can't.
Yes, I agree with that. There are certain things that if I'm medically cleared for, and if it's in that job, if the NFL's policy and procedure manual, if they says if this
How
person
many
has,
families? Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
if this person says I have been medically cleared per the rules in the existing NFL policy procedure, then they can't prevent him from doing that. Now, if they put something in there, a caveat or a modification saying,
Yeah.
hey, if you get 3 concussions in a time period, you got to set out for ABC 1, 2, 3. But to say decidedly, if you get 3 concussions, you can't play forever. I don't agree with that.
Well, here's the problem. I don't agree with families then being able to come back after somebody's found to have CTE and sue the NFL, which is happening.
Right.
And other things like that are happening. So the NFL can protect themselves at a point and say, fine, you're saying we were responsible for allowing this to happen, then we're putting these rules in. And from now on, at least we're gonna put in what we think is a measurable response. We're not going to cut a person short, but listen, if you're the type of player that has a tendency to concussion, we're sorry. I mean, I'm surprised they're letting Hamlin play, but I mean, like you said, rules right now as they sit, fine. But some players, Steve Young, all but came back.
Mm-hmm.
His family begged him. His wife begged him. His parents begged him. And it wasn't until Joe Montana called him up and said, dude, you've had a great career. You don't want to end up, a statistic. And after all those people came out, and he's like, fine, I'm going to retire.
But what I'm saying, Chris, I don't have a problem with what you're saying, but I'm saying if you're a grown person of sound mind and sound body, and you are operating within the parameters of the policy and procedure they have in place, then you can't change it in midstream.
No, I'm not saying they're going to change it in midstream.
Let me finish. If that person signs a waiver saying, look, I know, and I heard plenty of professional football players say, I know the risks, I know what it can cause, but I'm still going to do it. I wouldn't change a thing. I've heard Shannon Sharp say that several times to Ray Lewis when they were talking about the game. If that person comes to me and says, look, I know that if I have an opportunity, a higher than their normal opportunity of getting concussions, but I still want to play, and he's medically cleared by a doctor, and he signs whatever legal paperwork, then that's on him. The family shouldn't be allowed to sue.
I'm just saying that's something that the NFL might have to look at in the next.
I'm saying if they put it in place,
at the next player union.
If they put it in place, then I'm all about following the rules. But if they don't put it in place,
Yeah.
these individuals are fool enough to go out
Well,
there and
and they
risk their
can't.
life, then that's on them.
Yeah. I'm not saying that.
But-
I'm not disagreeing
but-
with that. And they can't do it until the new union agreement goes
CBA.
through. They'd have to wait till the CBA. They're going to have to wait for this one to elapse, and then they can do it because they can't do it until that's over.
And what they need to do
But-
too for this NFL is to make sure these players, when they make it to the NFL, that they got lifetime medical. They got a way of if they go out there and waste their money, they still can have something in savings or something, some kind of financial planner. A lot of these kids go straight from the ghetto, straight from the field, straight from whatever community, don't have the first inclination about bills, saving money, buying properties, being a businessman, building a brand. They just going. They need to have some kind of course that you got to go in there and say, hey, look, you got to do ABC 1, 2, 3.
I think they have stuff like that now.
I don't think they do. Not as much.
Well,
as
maybe not
I've heard a lot of these people say, like in the Hall of Fame. If you're in the Hall of Fame, there's supposed to be certain things that you should automatically get. Some of these players in the Hall of Fame can barely make ends meet. That's a shame.
Yep. Yeah, it is, but
but I think Chris is right. I think the NFL, it's either NFL or basketball, but I think NFL more than anything. I think they have put things in place for players like that now. But
the NBA
I agree with you.
I haven't heard about the NFL.
Yeah, I heard something where the NBA, I think it was on one of those shows, I can't remember who it was, where they said the NFL is either implementing it or they have something in place, something like that. But at the end of the day, I do believe that because of the way the league has been going and they've been trying to protect their players, that they will put something into place for concussion. They will.
Well, I think the biggest thing, I remember the last CBA, they were trying to implement insurance for the players, right? Because I know the insurance is off the roof as far as how much it costs. I'm not sure if that was added in there, but if not, I mean, man,
You got to remember now, NFL's a big business. If they start putting these things, they're going to start cutting out some of their major. So they ain't trying to. They ain't trying to cut their nose off to spite their face.
Exactly. So you think about they don't have health insurance or life insurance probably through the NFL, so they have to probably get on their own. And those insurance companies, I'm sure, are charging.
Oh yeah.
Whew,
they
and so
them, buddy.
And plus, there's no guaranteed contracts really. So, man, it's a tough game, but they made the choice to play it.
Yeah, the NFL now is starting to get a little bit of those guaranteed, like that Deshaun Watson was very groundbreaking.
Yeah, and
so that guaranteed money.
I don't know if
the owners don't want that. They don't want that.
No.
Well, I don't know if it's the same as wrestling. I'm assuming it is, but I think when you're in the NFL, like, and you hurt yourself, whatever kind of injury you have, as long as it's on the field, they will take care of the expenses for your operation, stuff like that. At least that's what the WWE does. So I'm thinking if the WWE does that, then I don't see why the NFL wouldn't do that.
I think we think about life after football because you done went out there for the say for instance, you played for Dallas, and what's the linebacker name? Can't think of his name. Just whatever. And you done went out there, you done give him 15, 20 years, or whatever time frame, and then you cut him loose. That's crappy. That's crappy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. After your playing is done, then you got to find your own insurance, right? And you got to do all of that stuff yourself. But and I don't, like I said, I don't know. I just watched Maven, and he said that's how the WWE does it. So, for example, if, like, let's say Dak Prescott was riding his bike and hurt himself, he wouldn't be covered by the NFL. But if he was on the field and he hurt himself, then the NFL would cover his expenses.
No, but you see, so I brought up the concussion thing. That's another thing you got to think about. While the NFL doesn't have anything in place, for instance, teams and contracts with players do have things like, hey, Dak, remember 2 years ago you were riding your bike on the off season and you fell off of it. You didn't hurt yourself, but you could have hurt yourself really bad. So now on, you can only ride your bike here. or you can only ride a stationary bike in our presence, so we know what you're doing. It's like they can do that stuff. So I mean, I think we're going down that line because of people like Tua, because there's a lot of money into Tua right now. I mean, that's
like Danny was saying, if 3 concussions, there needs to be a contract signed. Like, hey, sign this contract saying that if you get another one, it's not on us. It's on you. He gave you all the
they're going to hire the concussions.
Yep, he gave you all the medical scenarios to you. If you get this 4th concussion, this can happen to you.
Them concussions will come just like strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm on my 2nd strike. I can't do that.
Yeah. And then we got to also admit, too, a lot of these quarterbacks, man, they'll try to slide at the last second. Try and get an extra 1 or 2 yards to get hit. It's
Has anybody?
They're going to make it now. You can't even hit a quarterback.
Again, if they do that, I don't know. I just saw a story just now that came up that said the Miami Dolphins are going to sign Tom Brady within a week. I'm not counting it as real. I'm just saying, I'm like, really, people?
Well, if
there
they
are just
did,
some people.
We know Miami would win a championship. That's for sure.
No, they won't, because that man get killed back there.
He'd win a championship because everywhere he goes, he's winning.
Maybe.
Nah, negative.
I won't give it to him. Uh-oh. Microphone.
Fox might be thinking that hiring Tom Brady might have been a mistake. Really quickly, we're giving away copies of Madden 25. All you have to do to be entered is follow it on this page. 2 years ago, Fox announced that they signed Tom Brady to a 10-year, $375 million contract to call games when he's retired. At the same time, it was met with some controversy because Fox found a superstar in the commentator booth in the form of Greg Olsen. Tom Brady's debut was when the Cowboys faced off against the Browns on Sunday, and I'd be lying if I didn't say it came off as really awkward.
Look, it's Mike Pereira. Hi, Mike. It's good to have you back.
Oh, don't leave me hanging. So good to be back with you guys. It's just
You're a broadcaster. How about that?
We're here. It's been quite a journey, but I love being your partner.
I'm excited as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We should start with
John Hansen even took a jab at him during Red Zone.
Come on, Brady's got to get more excited than that in the booth.
Now, I don't think Tom Brady's. Just don't think this is what Fox was hoping for. Which is why Fox might be thinking.
Well, listen, Tom Brady and Tyreek Hill would be like Tom Brady and Randy Moss. They would dominate everybody.
I think Brady needs an actual player next to him commentating. I think he'll be a lot better.
It's difficult. They normally don't do that, though. They normally don't put 2 players together.
Yeah, that's a shame. Maybe you should do some podcasts or something for a while.
Well, you see, color broadcasting, and so you have your guy that calls the play-by-play, and then you have your color broadcaster, which is typically a player. It's typically a ex-player. Listen, Tony Romo, the first year or 2 he was in broadcasting, sucked. He sucked. He has gotten a ton better. Sometimes it's just the guys you're with. They pair him with the right guy that can kind of coax it out of him. I mean, listen, it was awkward. I agree with that. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, they're going to realize it's a learning curve and everything.
Yeah, he and like I said, Tony Romo wasn't great to begin with, but he's gotten a hell of a lot better. And I think it's because they found the right guy to go with him, and it works really well together. Brady, I agree in a sense with Danny that I would not give Brady top bill games right now. Nope. Let's ease you into it. Let's give you some easy ones that people aren't going to watch and bitch about right now.
It's called OJT. You give him on the job training.
Yeah.
Then watch the low ranking ones. Then once he gets up, they think sometimes I call it the Michael Jordan effect. Great on the court, but he is bad as an owner. So
yeah,
Tom Brady can be great on the field, but he just could not be his niche. So I would definitely give him a season or 2 or whatever time frame you think is fair. I but I would not put him on the top bill. I would not put him on a Dallas game. No way I would do
No.
that.
Well,
Highest
one,
game,
Dallas fans are going to just tear into him.
Kansas City, Dallas fans, Baltimore fans, Eagles fans, I wouldn't do it. Now, to tell you the truth, I let them do all the Bucks, Tampa Bay, or either New England Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get a better reception in New England and Tampa Bay.
For sure. And I think that's an easier way to do it. And you got to put him with a strong co-host, because that person's going to have to pull the weight for a while until he feels right. Yep. And again, I go back to Romo. Romo wants. Who's the guy that Romo does them with now?
Michael. Can't think of his name.
But now that they got him paired with this guy, they're a great team, and it sounds good. It works good. But I remember, what did they do? They put Romo on the Monday night games originally, didn't they? It was like the first ones they put him on, and I don't know. He had a hard time for a while there, but he found it. I mean, and it's to be expected.
Yeah.
Do you know, former player, is he comfortable being kind of negative towards other players that are being kind of biased
Jim Nance,
as a
Tony
former
Romo,
player?
and Tracy Wolfson. Jim Nance is his partner.
Nance is that's one reason right there. Nance is really good.
Yep.
All
right, gentlemen. That's another one in the books. We were a little less than 2 hours. That's fantastic timing for me because I am ready to go get something to eat.
Yep.
JG, tell the people they can find you at, sir.
JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 champs of Shaolin. What? As usual, catch me live Wednesday night on the OOC with the host Nzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of this sheep, the Spliff King, and the Professor of Gunja, alongside the co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry.
Boop, boop, boop.
And also at times we got the amazing, the outstanding, the charismatic, always man of the hour. You can hate it now, but it won't stop now because you can't stop now. If you smell what Danny is cooking.
Japanese cooking. I want to be cooking because that's what I'm sure I'm going to get next. It's your night. What's going on with you, sir?
Not much. Getting ready for the new season of Masked Singer.
Come on tonight.
No, 25th of this month. So it's a couple weeks away still. Just getting ready for it. Trying to get everything set up, get back on it. That hopefully we'll be back to doing our Sunday weekly wrap up, stuff like that very soon. And Chaos Central, all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you for having me as always. Good topics, great time.
Good
and yep.
Mr. Nzo, what's going on with you, brother?
Yes, sir. Biggaford Entertainment. You guys know where to find me. Don't need to run down all of that stuff. It's good to be back. Thanks for doing the show again, Danny. And it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys.
All right, and I'm your host, Andy Graham. You can find me 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometime on the Nzo's channel, the OOC. Sometimes we do our own little private things with screening and stuff, depending on what kind of show we like. Wednesdays, I'm on the Hangout Guy Scars channel. Sundays, I'm on Storms Live, which will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check us out next week. We're going to try to be back the same bat time, same bat channel here, doing our thing on Square One. And until then, take it easy. Peace.